Over a month ago, I said we'd scud Panathinaikos. I said we would beat this diddy Turkish team, and by God, did we beat this wee diddy Turkish team. Welcome back to the channel. And yeah, the wee Turkish team remarks may go over some people's head, like the 2 wonder goals tonight. But guess what? We are got one leg into, well, I say one leg, 1 foot. It's an almighty foot. One step for man, oh man, a leap for mankind. The third qualifying round, folks. Servette, they defeated Victoria Pleasant tonight, 1-0 away from home. So book it, bookmark it, right? Clip it, do whatever you want with it. It will be Rangers versus Servette in the third qualifying round. We're going to win, and it's a playoff round right for us. But let's be real, tale of two halves. Ho ho! That first half was scary. It was rock bottom. It felt like Big Baldy Phil never left the building, to be brutally honest, or some of the football under Barry. But it was weird. Instead of being passive, it was kind of just being the architect of your own downfall. Suter, Aarons, Tav to a degree. You also had Raskin in the middle of the park, just giving away the ball every other time, man. Stevie, I would love to actually see what the passing completion was for the first couple of, well, I mean, pretty much for about, what, the opening 35 minutes. Because I think after that we did manage to step up a gear, but the game begins. Raskin carried the ball well, gets a shot away. You're like, right, that's the Nico Raskin of last season. That's the guy that's linked with 25 million, but it was like deja vu, man. It was like that movie. Oh, what's that movie? Groundhog Day. It was like watching that. John Suter would either lose the ball or he would pass it to Nico Raskin, who would then go and lose the ball. Obviously, Martin's trying to implement inverted fullbacks. You've got Tav coming in off the right into the middle of the park. You've got Aarons coming in off the left into the middle of the park. And I mean, I understand it's going to take a while to perfect this. It's not going to happen overnight, right? So there is a bit of leeway with it, but it wasn't working. But Martin is one of these managers that is just going to stick it his way, and I think it was refreshing today is that we kept going for it. There was no point in this game where it was like, all right, we'll just settle for 1-0. We kept attacking, we kept going for goals, and that's what I like about Martin. Just for the get go, when you compare it to Clermont, how many games did we sit through? Well, I mean, most of the games you'd go 2-0 down and you have to fight back. But even the games where we would win, it would be like 2-1 or 1-0, and there would never be that sense that it would be going for the throat. But speaking of going for the throat, Panathinaikos, they were going for the jugular, but they missed with every swipe, because essentially what happened is corners happening galore, Suter's making blocks, Butland's making saves. Like, it's weird. John Suter, for me, was the worst player in that first half, but he probably made about 4 or 5 great blocks. Work that one out. They rattled the post. It should have been 1. It should be 2-0. They have a bunch of other opportunities. Butland gets down to his right-hand side. He saves it. Again, could be free. Finley Curtis runs back again. If he doesn't run back here, this could easily have been, well, I'm saying 4 theoretically, but he almost injures himself in this tackle. But then one of the dirty cheats from Panathinaikos, he dives, picks up a yellow. That'll come in handy later on, because guess what? You get sent off. I hate cheating. I hate diving. It's pathetic, man. Sometimes people get accused of diving when they didn't, and I'm not saying every single time a referee thinks someone dives should be a red, but see when it's clear and obvious that he's dived, and this is clear and obvious it should be, because sometimes there's contact and people just get tripped and they go down, and sometimes the refs just don't buy it. I think that's different. But here, this guy's looking at, he goes down and he's rolling about the ground, man. The Greeks tonight, man, or the Turks, as should we call them, a lot of them rolling about. Even in the second half when Raskin got his 2 shots away, the goalie was fine, and then once he realised the ball got cleared from the box, he started rolling about holding his wristband, and he got a bit of deep heat sprayed on it. Quite pathetic. But we were so cheap in possession towards the end of this first half. But then things started to change. Diamonde got a shot away. Danilo had a shot that was definitely going in, but it was kind of blocked off the line. And then that took us into half time. And I'd be lying, folks, I feared the worst. But what I thought was, well, you know what? It can only get better than this, because it's been brutal. We could be literally 3 or 4-0 down. It's 0-0. We've had, I mean, to be fair, the Diamonde chance could have went in, but the clear and obvious one for us was Danilo from the corner where he's cracked it on the volley. But into the second half we go. Suter gave it away a few times, so did Dijiga. I thought Dijiga actually had a really quiet game, but I think for a centre-back to have a quiet game, that means you've done alright. Definitely at the back 4, he had the best game for me, which is promising considering he's one of the new lads in the door. Butland, parries a shot, manages to run onto it, fires it down the left-hand side. It finds itself to Finley Curtis, cuts in, and he buries it into the bottom right-hand corner. Now, I've seen replays since. It took a deflection, but to be honest, folks, do I care if it took a deflection? No, because it's 1-0, and this guy rewards Russell Martin by getting a goal because Russell Martin put faith in him. Russell Martin pointed out that it's weird though. Martin post match turned around and said that Finlay Curtis, he showed a bit of nerves early on. You know, he's 18. I think Finlay Curtis, well, he won man of the match. I didn't see any nerves from him when you compare him to other players, man. He rarely misplaced a pass. It seems like every other pass for Suter or Raskin, guys who are, got a lot of matches under the belt, were making mistakes. They go down to 10 men. Finlay Curtis again draw the foul here. It's a clear second yellow. From the point of view is he just brings a guy down that's on the attack and he doesn't drag him back. And you can argue it's harsh, but you know what? See, in the first half, they should have had a guy booked for what pretty much replicating what Raskin did. So, you can argue it's harsh, but see, at the end of the day, for what he did in the first half, man, get it right with him. Because see if he doesn't do that in the first half, I guarantee you he doesn't even probably pick up a booking here. But the referee thought in some places a wee bit dodgy tonight, but I think more often than not, he got the right decisions. We make it 2-0. After the triple substitution, we see Gazima, Dessers and Igamani come on. Brilliant to see Gazima coming on, cuts in, pretty much does the opposite to Finlay Curtis and puts it top left. Sheffield Wednesday were raging about this guy leaving, saying that they would have been able to probably sell him for like 10, 15 million if they weren't under that whole, I don't even know, was it a transfer embargo kind of thing? So they sold him for what, 2.2 million to us. And obviously PSG put a 50% sell-on fee in. PSG would not have put a 50% sell-on fee on this guy if he was pish. So they obviously thought something of him. And hopefully he can provide these goals more often than not. So we make it 2-0. Doyle had a header before this. Raskin's got a few shots. Igamani missed a header. Dessers missed a Tav cross. And overall, it's a weird one because we've won 2-0. And I'm happy about it, ecstatic about it. But it's not game over. They get an early goal in Athens next week. And you're kind of bricking it, but at the same time, they need 3 without reply to put us out over 90 minutes, and I just don't see that happening. And that's not me being being a bit of a defeatist and saying, oh well, at least that kind of guarantees penalties. We'll put ourselves in a good place. 41 degrees apparently it's rumoured to be next week, which is here. That's going to be torturous for these players. Make no mistake about it. But let's not pretend they're not used to playing in heat, man. I mean, they played a couple of pre-season games last week, 2 weeks ago, and it was like near 30. 30, I think it was about 30. I know there's a difference between 41 and 30, but there'll be drinks games, guys. Don't worry about it. But the only thing we're drinking tonight is this wee Turkish team's tears. So, aye, leave it down below. Rangers 2, Panathinaikos 0. I believe we're through, but it's not a guarantee. We'll have to wait and see. But Middlesbrough on Saturday, looking forward to that game as well. No need to take unnecessarily risks. What I would like to see is probably a lot of the guys that came off the bench start the Middlesbrough game, but that's for Russell Martin to decide, folks. A lot of players to pick from. Hopefully Asgard's back on Saturday. I'd like to see that because he looked exciting in pre-season. He looked exciting for Luton in the clips that I'd seen. So if we get him and Gazima firing on all cylinders on either wing, what a season we could have in store.